Hey guys, Rumblysuperset here, back again with another episode of Vainglory on iOS, and this time I am bringing you an episode of Ardan, the newly announced hero coming to Vainglory on an iPad near you. Soon. It's not quite ready, guys. I guess they're doing some balance tweaks on Ardan right now to make sure that the update, when it comes, that everything is good. There's a happy medium in terms of not being too strong, not being too weak, and that everybody can enjoy the game as it's intended. And I'm really happy about that because, I'm glad that they're very adamant about bringing quality to the game rather than just, tons of content in short periods of time. The longer it takes, the better the update's going to be, the better polished the update's going to be, which is awesome. Especially on a mobile device where most AAA games, so-called AAA games, aren't always maintained at that level. But anyway, so what we have here is we have Ciderhelm playing as Ardan. It's not me, guys. I'm not hacking his account. This video was given to me by Playoffbeard to upload for your guys' viewing pleasure if you haven't already seen this guy shown at the PAX South live stream event, which I was there, and you guys should have been there. It was awesome. They're giving away free ice. It's always nice to get free things. Even if you're not picked, at least you can enjoy your time because they're very community oriented and talk to everybody. It's really awesome, guys. You should always attend them. I think they're every Friday. For the most part, I think, give or take the time frame depending on what they're doing. I think PAX South right now pushes the live stream to like 3 p.m. when it's normally 2 p.m. But anyways, let's talk about this guy. We have a yellow bar. What is that? I was like, what is this yellow bar? And it looks like they have this new resource called Vengeance coming to the game. And how it works is you accumulate it by just doing things actively, like auto attacks or abilities. And you'll see there, every time he does an auto attack, he gets chunks of that resource, and then when he does an ability, he gets even larger chunks. And it's really cool because that basically is a depiction of when your second ability is ready. When that bar is full, you can use your second ability, and that's how it works. So, from my understanding is, if auto attacks give you that resource and abilities give you that resource, to get that resource faster, so you can use your second ability faster or more often, if you will, you want to stack attack speed, or you want to stack cooldown acceleration. Because then if you have attack speed, you attack faster, gain that resource faster. If you have cooldown acceleration, you do your abilities more often, and therefore can get that resource faster in that fashion. So that's pretty nice. I think that's a good route to go if you want to do damage, at least. But let's talk about his abilities, his passives, and his 3 abilities he has here, and we'll kind of see what kind of build he's probably going to be more often done. So at least, so we have Julia's Gift. That's his passive, and what it does is it grants Ardan a small heal based on how much health he is missing. And so, okay, so I'm thinking you want to stack health because the more health you are missing, the more you heal passively. So if you have a larger pool of health, that means that you can actually lose a larger amount of health in terms of numerically. So if you only have 1200 health, you have a maximum potential of 1200 regen, or a percentage of that, I guess it would be based on the passive. If you have 4000 health, I don't know if you can go up that high, but if you have 4000 health, then essentially you can have even larger heals per second from the passive. Okay, I think that makes sense. Vanguard, that's his first ability. Ardan charges to a nearby ally, briefly granting them a barrier, just like you just saw right there, and also move speed, while slowing and damaging nearby enemies. So, if you see the actual animation of the ability, he lunges forward towards the ally, the barrier gets casted onto the ally, this like translucent barrier right there, and it gives him a run speed, the ally a run speed, and then it dissipates this pulse. That pulse is actually the slow and the damage, so it's an AoE damage slow, which is really cool. And it's at the actual target. So if you target your ally, that damage is dissipated at that location. Now, if you max it out, you get the overdrive, which causes his blood for blood ability to do bonus crystal damage. I don't know what the ratios are. I wasn't given that, but at least we know it gives him bonus crystal damage. So it works in conjunction with his second ability. So let's go into his second ability. Blood for blood. That's the one where he lunges forward and does like the Superman punch, which is pretty awesome. See if he does it. Oh, he did it, but it's hard to see. Let's see if he does it again. Oh, he's at 10 seconds. Let's wait. Swatch is awesome. Ah, get some distance, yo. We want to see this in action. Come on. Come on, do it. Do it, dang you. Cider helm. Get some distance. Oh man, it's weird commentating on something that's not my own work, but it's whatever. All right, anyways, so you'll probably see it here in a little bit. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it will. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So Ardan consumes his vengeance to punch his target, dealing weapon damage based on his maximum health. The overdrive allows his ability to critically strike. So yeah, so you have Julia's gift, his passive, which gives you health, a small heal based on how much health he's missing. So I think more health would be good there. And then also the extra health would be good for your blood for blood. So yeah, you want to build a lot of health on this guy. And the reason why is because with blood for blood, if you have, I don't know, like 12, like I was saying, 1200 health, you do damage based on that maximum health. So obviously if you have a greater pool of health, like 4000 health, you do even more damage. So even if you're building tanky, you are essentially getting more damage, so long as you're getting health, health defensive items. Now the overdrive allows its ability to critically strike, so you do want to max this out too, because that allows you to do even more damage on top of the already brutal amount that you can do with your max health. Okay, so I think he just did it a second ago, so I'm looking at the descriptions here. Let's see if he... Oh, he just got his ult though. So maybe we can see that in action. Oh yeah, so you can also see he can use Vanguard on himself too. He can self-cast that. And it has the same effects, it's just now it's on yourself. But do keep in mind that your Vanguard, when you use it on yourself, it does an extremely reduced amount in terms of the barrier. I don't know about if the damage is less, but I think the barrier is a lot less. You just saw there a second ago, he just did his ult too. So let's talk about what his ult did there. And we'll probably see it again a little bit in the gameplay. But it's called Gauntlet. Ardan throws down the Gauntlet, projecting a perimeter around the target. So a 360 perimeter, as you saw. And enemies who cross that perimeter are stunned and take crystal damage. So enemies who are coming into it are stunned and take crystal damage. And enemies who are coming from inside out are stunned and take crystal damage. Now I don't know if you can get stunned when you run into it, and if you run back out you get stunned again. I think during the live stream they were talking about whether or not that's going to be in fact what happens. They're still talking about it, but for now it looks like for sure there will be at least one stun in that. So it's really good because what you can do is you can actually cast that and lock people in, because they'll be afraid to take that crystal damage and be stunned and then be killed off by either yourself or by your teammates. And the biggest thing it's good for is, one thing I've always noticed is there's so much tension when you're getting a gold mine or a kraken, especially if you're stealing it from an enemy where they see you're doing it. So it's really nice to where if you're getting close to bringing down the kraken, or you're getting close to bringing down the gold mine, you cast that ultimate around that location. So they're coming from their side through the brush. They cannot enter that perimeter unless they want to get stunned and take that crystal damage, making themselves vulnerable. So it's a perfect solution for those stressful moments where you want to pick up gold mine or kraken and you're afraid that you don't know where they're at and they might come and steal it, or not steal it, but gank you and kill you off before you can even take the gold mine or kraken from them. So that's really awesome. I'm really looking forward to utilizing that, especially in those team fights. Another thing it's good is it has good synergy with Glaive and Petal. The reason why is because when you lay down that ultimate, anything that crosses it, whether it's from outside in or inside out, gets stunned and takes that crystal damage. So if they're inside the perimeter, Glaive can come, jump in, knock him out. He almost did it right there, but I don't know if he did or not. I didn't really see. But you can knock him out and make him stunned. So it's really cool. And then Petal, if you lay down that perimeter, that ultimate, and they're afraid to leave, Petal can go in there and just explode her minions. And they're perfectly grouped up for her. That's why they're good synergies together. Alright, so now, if you guys read the lore, you may know that Ardan and Catherine do not get along. In a sense, they're kind of like opposites of each other. They're both protectors in terms of their role, but the way they protect the team is completely different. Catherine locks down enemies with her stuns or her silences, preventing them from doing stuff. Whereas Ardan, what he does is he prevents damage being done to your allies, to your teammates. So he puts down barriers, or he puts down that perimeter where enemies can't cross it, and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit different in terms of their approach to protecting the team or helping the team. Let's see what else we got here. So aside from that, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, he seems really cool. I like the whole, steampunk theme for sure. I was really looking forward to that hologram character being the hero, and it looks like he was. I'm referencing the initial lore that came, the first one. If you guys go to the news section, you'll probably see it there, where there's Catherine, and then there's a hologram to her left, or technically her right, our left, and it'll be him shown in the hologram. But the lore for the actual Ardan character is pretty sad, but it's really awesome. I definitely recommend checking it out. Just go to the news section, whether in game or on the website, and you'll see it there. But let's just keep watching. I think it's almost over, but we can keep watching and see how this game turns out. This is actually like my first time watching it all the way through, so I'm not really sure exactly how the outcome comes out. So you can see there that he still does tons of damage regardless of being a tank. He just took down the gold mine like nothing. And then that barrier is just nice. The Vanguard, he can like diminish all that damage and just put out a lot of AoE. It's really cool. I really like it. Another thing too is sort of like Glaive, where he can lunge himself across obstacles like walls or turrets with his afterburn. Ardan can also do so. So long as there's an ally on the opposite side of the wall, he can use his Vanguard to select his ally to jump to their location, so essentially going across that wall. So it's a good use of escape so long as your teammates are there to help you out. See if you see anything cool happens here. So there's a slow. Yeah, see, it's really nice for the CC too. So he doesn't have like a very effective stun such as Catherine, where it's like up constantly. He has his ultimate, but you have a long cooldown on that. But he does have some sort of CC, which is the slow, and it does do damage too. So, and it's an AOE slow too. So the difference between Catherine and Ardan is Catherine could do single targets with her stun, but Ardan can do AoE slows, so it's kind of a win-win depending on your playstyle. I mean, you can do well with both. I think personally, I would probably build. I'd probably build like ability power, since I'm kind of like leaning towards that. I go like an aftershock, because it has that cooldown acceleration, and it's just overall nice to have. But and then you also have like the energy or acceleration too. So you can see there he also targets like an area. So his ultimate is not around himself. He targets an entire area from a distance, and he'll jump into the air and land in that area and then cast his ult. So when I was saying it's kind of like Thresh, or did I say that? I don't know. Maybe it was in my other recording. But he has an ultimate like Thresh from League of Legends. It's almost the same thing, almost, except his stuns. But the difference is his is range. So instead of casting it around himself, it does it in a targeted location. Another thing too is if they're putting pressure on your turret, one thing you can do is you can actually lock them in in the same area of your turret. So if it's like, if you can take down the minions and then they're still by your turret, you can potentially lock them in. They can't leave without getting stunned. And then the turret's just going to do damage after damage after damage. Now also, I think the only person right now that can actually leave the ultimate without being stunned is Jewel. Now I don't know if that's going to remain the same by the time the update is out, but for now she's the only one that can actually get out. Which I can think, in terms of how the logic is formed, I mean, jumping out of it is actually, I would say the best route, since you're not actually going straight through it. And Jewel's the only one that actually like, jumps up and out, whereas Glaive, twirls forward, and who else has like a lunge of some sort? Taka has the X-Retsu, but it's still straight path, it's through the wall.
overclocking was not the
Yeah, I really like though that he can really like pull the team into a winning position. Like even if you're losing, like you can just do your ult, lock him out or lock him in, and then put your buffs on your teammates here with your Vanguard, the barriers, and do the AoE slow, and then like they might turn the tide. It's really nice. It's kind of a different approach than Catherine. I main in Catherine, so it's kind of like awkward for me to play in a different style of Protector, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. Yeah, it looks like he's going CPT. He went Aftershock as well, so it seems like it's something that they want to do if you're playing Ardan here. And this is like Ciderhelm's baby here. I guess he was like the person that actually came up with the kit and has been like basically developing this character from the beginning. So it's actually pretty interesting that a pretty avid LoL player, mobile player, had created this character. So there's probably quite a bit of thought put into it. Yeah, I can definitely see like Crucible ring really nice too. So also, what I saw during the live stream is, okay, so sometimes that ult might seem overpowering. I mean, you might be a little afraid of it because you can't leave it. Well, if you do have a reflex block, especially like, you know, if you have Crucible, the whole team gets it, you can actually leave the barrier without getting stunned through that means. You activate the reflex block, you run out, and that reflex block negates the stun. That's the one way you can get out of it. Yeah, they're just decimating. Oh my god. I think this is actually... Oh, okay, so there he goes. He actually uses the barrier to protect Petal just for the meantime, even though they already won. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video playing, not playing, but watching Ardan. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing him in a little bit whenever he comes out, and I hope to see you guys there. And I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, stun. Do the stun, please. Yeah!